Hi guys, and welcome to Mid Elo Meta Report. My name is Heimerdinger, and I'm going to give my 2 cents about which picks I think are going to be interesting during the 9.19 patch. Today I'm going to talk about Blitzcrank, Orianna, and Heimerdinger. These picks are going to be different from how they were in the earlier patches, and I hope that we're going to see some of them in solo queue. So let's just dig into it and see where we go. Don't fight the feeling, let's get the feeling, show me the moves you got. The first champion I'm going to be highlighting in this episode is Blitzcrank. The reason I've chosen to highlight Blitz is because I predict that a lot of people will be caught off guard by the longer range of Blitzcrank's Q. Because the range has been increased, it forces you to play more carefully against Blitz. However, sometimes the positioning may be on autopilot and you get caught because the longer range is yet to be adjusted to. One of the phases where Blitz is strongest is in the early levels of laning phase. Everybody knows you're going to be invaded if the enemy team has a Blitz, but it is different in lane now. Blitz now excels even more in lane as the distance the opposing bot lane has to put between them and their minions is even bigger. Now Blitz is a monster of a zone machine and can even stay AFK in the process and hook when the opportunity presents itself. Blitz can now stand behind walls and hook people on the turret much easier, opening up for the ability to burn your opponent's summoner spells during laning phase. As seen in the clip, Blitz hides behind the wall to hook Kai'Sa from downtown. It may be a lost fight, but it was a good hook, and with more equal items and power levels from both AD carries, Kai'Sa would have been easily dead. Roaming is also very important on Blitz, and going with your jungler and or your mid laner can cause serious damage to the enemy team in all stages of the game. Finally, when it comes to team fighting, the difference is pretty minimal. Because of the close proximity to the enemy team, the increased range on Q doesn't make that big a difference during the fight. However, his engage/pick potential does increase with it. So before a fight starts, be sure to assert yourself as the primary engager on your team. Let's first understand who Orianna is. She's a high pressure, high sustained damage lane bully that can deny both gold, vision and experience. This champion is exceptionally strong in laning phase if piloted correctly. However, like any other champion, she has weaknesses that can be easily exploited if done right. Orianna's laning phase isn't any different from pre 9.19. If you feel confident in your ball handling, you max your Q to get a higher sustained damage output. Death by 1,000 cuts, so to say. If you're up against a stronger opponent though, that has prior in lane, you might want to max E to get protection from your shield. Due to the recent changes, Orianna's power spike is level 6. She's gained another 50 flat magic damage onto her ult, leaving her a serious threat to all opponents. And make sure to poke your opponent down during laning phase, as this enables you to immediately all-in your opponent as soon as you hit level 6. Orianna is a control mage after all, so maximize your zoning control in lane with her long ball range. Orianna is a really great utility to have in your team comp, since she has an AoE CC in form of a movement speed buff for teammates, slow effects for enemies, and displacement with her ult. She can shield her enemies with a ball, thereby ensuring zoning control of her entire ball area. Understanding that the key to team fighting with Orianna is to use her ult at the right time. As a teammate or enemy, make sure to play around her ult when you're in the mid and late game. Orianna also does well in 2v2s, as she can turn a bad situation into an advantage with her ultimate Shockwave. The last thing I want to highlight about this champion is that she gets caught very easily if she has no teammates to back her up. None of her spells except the movement speed buff on her W helps her escape from a gank or an engage from an enemy. Therefore, it is always important to respect your opponent and let your ball do as much of the work for you that is viable in terms of pressure and mana. A champion I quickly want to talk about is Heimerdinger, as he received buffs to most of his kit. His Q and R has seen 30 to 35% increase in AP scaling ratio, and his E has gone from 1.25 seconds to 1.5 seconds stun. These aren't meta breaking buffs, but they help him get on top in situations he normally wouldn't be favored in. His level 1 has been improved, and he is able to dish out a lot of damage with his turrets, basic attacks and electrocute. This sustained damage is enough to grab a quick kill on Fiora. Because of the increased stun duration on his E, you're ensured an easier time to hit most of rockets on his Heimer's W ability after successfully stunning the opponent. As you can see in the clip, Fiora doesn't respect Heimer's damage and dies to clean E and follow up with rockets and turret passive. Since Heimer's ult saw a damage buff, his level 6 spike is now to be even more feared. Despite Fiora dodging the stun and a few initial rockets, the damage that the thick ulti turret outputs is too overwhelming for Fiora, and she yet again forced to open the Great Screen Simulator. So this has been it for this episode of Mid Elo Meta Report. If you liked the video, if you have something you think I could improve on, please put it down in the comments, and I'd be happy to reply and read all of your comments. Thank you so much for following, and if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It'll help me become a better content creator, and it'll give me the time and the effort or the motivation to put out some of the other shows I've been planning for the near future. So if you want to catch me on my stream, I'll be on every day from 8 to 24 Copenhagen Standard Time. I have my Twitter and my Instagram that you can find in the description below, where I'll post whenever I'm going to be streaming or if I have new content up. So thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.